For our roasting process, we decided to use two types of beans and blend them for the best flavor. We started out with 105 grams of Peru beans, and we roasted them at a 9 fan and 9 power for 6.5 minutes, giving us a light roast. After roasting, we lost approximately 13.3 grams to volatile gases and chaff, and resulted in 92 grams of roasted beans. Our Honduras green bean similarly lost 13.3 grams to volatile gases after roasting it with 9 power, 9 fan for 7.3. This produced 91.4 grams and in total offered us about 180 grams of usable green beans. After roasting the beans, we bagged them and stored them for later usage.
After letting the 108 grams of mixed beans, Peru and Honduras, sit for a week, we took 72 grams of the mixed roasted beans and grinded them with the grinder and got 70 grams of grinded beans. We lost 2 grams in the process. We took 1,120 grams of water at 23 degrees Celsius, put it into an electric kettle, and heated it until it reached a degree of 94 degrees Celsius. During this process, we lost about 15 grams of water, leaving us with 1,105 grams of boiled water.
While waiting for our electric kettle to heat up the water, we began to prepare our French presses. In 2 French presses, we added 35 grams of roasted coffee to the bottom. Once our water was done heating, we added 530 grams of water to each of our presses. We let our French presses sit for 6 minutes. After 6 minutes of brewing, we pressed down our coffee and we began to extract our product. We found that 95 grams were left over in each of our French presses of spent grounds, which had absorbed water. We then transferred the 470 grams of coffee each into separate Clever Coffee brewers. We wanted to do this because we felt that the paper filters would continue to mitigate the TDS levels and give us a better brew. The only downside to this was that we lost a little bit of coffee to the paper filters, as 4.9 grams of coffee were absorbed by the filter. After steeping the coffee through the paper filters, we then transferred it over into our final submission tank and delivered our 930.3 grams of coffee.
For the Peru beans, we use 0.21 kilowatts an hour. For the Honduras beans, we use 0.19 kilowatts an hour. When taking into account the amount of beans actually used in the brew, we used 0.077 kilowatts an hour for the Peru and 0.072 kilowatts an hour for Honduras. We tried to minimize the energy usage by mixing in lighter roasts with the darker roasts. We measured a TDS of 1.35 and a percent extraction of 17.68. It was right on the edge between the ideal zone and the sour zone. In the blind test, our coffee was described as subtle, a little sour, tasting like berries, fruity, and inconsistent in texture. Next time, we would increase the brew ratio to place solidly inside the ideal zone. A lighter roast would decrease the energy usage. Using less water would also decrease our energy usage.